So you have a dream to move to Italy. Maybe you want to retire here, maybe you want to work here, or maybe you want to study here. One thing is certain though, you will more than likely end up talking about this dream to another person, whether that be a friend, family member, or even a stranger on the internet. And if you're not careful, this often marks the beginning of the end. As humans, we are all wired to want to seek validation from other people. We want people to pat us on the back and tell us we're doing the right thing. Except that doesn't always happen. But why? People don't get your dreams and vision. It's not possible, however much we wish it were, for another person to physically step into our shoes, to live our life, to dive deep into the depths of our mind, to experience our situation. So if that's the case, then we cannot expect other people to really fully understand the rationale and reasoning behind our decisions. Our dreams are ours alone for a very good reason. And so we cannot expect other people to be our cheerleaders for something that they cannot fully understand themselves. People are only interested in themselves. The classic book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, talks about this very concept, in that as human beings, we are intrinsically wired to only be interested in our own pursuits, gains, and benefits. So if you consider, if you're talking to another person who isn't going to be directly involved or impacted by your decision to move to Italy, chances are their interest in your dream is going to wane very quickly. Disinterest leads to indifference, which is a world away from what validation really is. So it's really important to remember this if you're talking about this with somebody who isn't really going to be directly impacted by your choice. People don't always filter their negative experiences. If you share a dream of moving to Italy with someone who has done exactly that, but has had a terrible time in doing so, chances are you are going to trigger something in them which is going to lead to a negative response from them. Now, this is really interesting to note because some people simply do not know how to manage this and how to separate their experience from what could potentially be another person's very different one. And so when you really understand this, it helps you to take what others say with a pinch of salt. These comments from people who have had negative experiences are often dressed up as wanting to help you avoid doing the same thing. However, 9 times out of 10, what people have to say about their situation often discredits or undermines the dream of another. So be careful. Jealousy, the classic human emotion that pops up in every aspect of our life, can also be another reason why people are not as supportive of your dream to move to Italy as you had hoped. When we see somebody doing something that we wish we could, but we are unable to for whatever reason, then naturally pangs of jealousy are going to surface. If we don't control and manage this very natural human instinct, then unfortunately it can lead to very destructive results and consequences for other people. So what is the solution? Don't breathe word to anyone? Not entirely. Here are some things that I would do if I were you and I wanted to move to Italy. I wouldn't be so vocal in online expat groups. Online expat groups can be feral and wild. You can find some goodness in them, but in the majority of cases, they are full of negative Nancy's and people who want to tear up your dreams. Moderators do their best, but unfortunately, and ironically even, these are not the communities in which you can share your Italian dream, unless you are prepared for the trolls. Use expat groups sparingly to find out more information about a different part of Italy, or indeed to learn more about the culture, but take everything you are told with a pinch of salt. These are not the places to ask about work, prospects, or even to share a business idea. Unfortunately, these aspects are areas in which I've seen people be absolutely torn to shreds in these groups whenever they pose a question to do with one of these aspects. So don't say I didn't warn you. You need to be shrewd as well, because not every recommendation given in these expat groups is completely unbiased. A lot of these expat groups are run like businesses with referral links in place as well, where members can earn money based on what they share and talk about. So really and truly be very careful. Always do your due diligence. Don't accept anything at face value in these groups. I would use YouTube to gain a real life perspective of life in Italy. There's something comforting about watching a video of a particular part of Italy that you're interested in with a real person showing you around and telling you about the reality of life there, more so than a faceless comment on the internet in an expat group, for example. There are many different content creators living in all different parts of Italy. If you're interested in life in South Italy, then of course you're in the right place. Hit the subscribe button so you can follow along with all of my content. But that aside, YouTube is a great resource to really discover the heart and soul of what Italy is about. Creators on YouTube often have other resources that can help you, especially if you're considering moving to Italy. If you like my content, for example, then you can sign up to my free newsletter. I'll pop the link below, and I think I can also do it up here too. So you can follow along with weekly newsletter insights about what's happening in Italy and just general thoughts and reflections. So there is a lot of goodness that can be gained from many creators here on YouTube. So it's a very wonderful platform to use in order for you to deepen your understanding of life in this country. I would trust in my decision more. We often seek validation from others because we have a sense of insecurity about our idea. We almost need other people to give us the confidence to continue. You can end up wasting a lot of time stuck in this cycle, repeatedly asking different people for their opinions in order to arrive at the one person that's going to say, yes, go for it. Get crystal clear on your why and your reason for moving to Italy and what your realistic expectations are from life here. If you are fully aligned with what you want to do, then take a deep breath, be brave, and just go for it. Don't wait for other people to give you permission to do it. I also wouldn't let any negativity get to me. Despite following these steps, this is real life, and of course, an aspect or element of negativity is going to seep through somewhere. The key though is to recognize it for what it is and not allow it to distract you or deter you from following what it is that you want to do. Easier said than done, but other people's naysaying should never be a reason for you not to follow your dreams or to pursue your decision to move to Italy. Think of the things that you won't experience. Think of the life that you won't lead. Think of the growth that you won't have as a person if you allow other people to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. Think also of this fabulous quote from Dr. Seuss. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way.